Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 4, Episode 12. What an eventful episode it was, wasn't it? Child, they are getting in that Ashley's ass, and I'm loving every single moment of it. That's what the bitch get. But anyway, you guys, let's get to it, shall we? Alright, you guys, so the show opens with us finding out that the case was dismissed against Michael. Do the girls believe it was because he's innocent? Nope. Everybody in their confessionals is talking about the fact that Michael has paid this cameraman off. As far as they're concerned, big money talks, bullshit walks. Ashley tells us, though, that the case was baseless, that it wouldn't make any sense for Michael to be grabbing on a complete stranger's ass, even though he's a cameraman on the show and they've been there for 4 seasons, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe he hasn't worked there the whole time. But like Karen said, a cheetah does not change his stripes. I said a tiger, Karen. A tiger, but we know what you meant. So now we see Ashley. She's saging her house, and she is on her way to Fox 5 News because now they have got to do the Clear Michael's Name campaign. She's nervous. She doesn't know what to expect, so she calls her mom. He's just been dragged through the mud as far as Ashley is concerned, you know, on some untruths. And so she's asking her mom how she should handle it because she can't allow this to happen any longer. Mama said just get on down there to the studio, okay, tell them that you ain't did shit and move on with your lives. Don't you love how the mom wants her to defend her man when last season the mama could barely stand him? Oh, how the tides turn, right? Oh, we see Giselle. And Giselle is getting ready for the entertainment that is going to be on Fox 5 News. Okay, she's getting her popcorn together and everything. About to sit on the couch and watch what the Darby's have to say. She says that she hasn't seen Michael since the whole I want to suck somebody's dick incident. Well, she didn't even see him then. I guess she hasn't seen. Has she even been around Michael this season? I don't really remember. But anyway, she can't resist a good show. So she sits down on the couch and she's watching Ashley and Michael. Ashley about staring a fucking hole into Michael's side of his head on the damn interview. She is looking like you best to say the right thing. So they're asking him if he did it, basically. And he says no. And Ashley says she was right there. She would have seen if he did anything. More on that a little later. But yeah, Ashley says she didn't see it, so it didn't happen. Now, Michael did admit that he bumped into the cameraman. But that's pretty much it. Again, more on that later. But they stuck to their story. Michael is innocent. He did not do anything. Now let's jump over to Karen real fast. You know, Raven is home, okay, visiting. My Rave Sunshine is in town, and she's in my closets to raid them. You know, my Raven has been so supportive of me ever since my parents died. Thank God for daughters. And actually, it is still sad. I just feel so sad for Karen and her family. It's really having, you know, she's having a hard time trying to get through her parents' death, and so is Raven. When they watch videos, you can tell that her grandparents were a big part of their lives, and she's gone. So we've all been there, so we know how that can be. Karen tells her, though, that the grandparents would be so proud of Raven, you know, that she's done so much to make them happy. And the most random part of that conversation, though, was that I met Macy Gray, and her daughter is going to make a painting. It's going to go right there. I was like, now what? How did Macy Gray get factored into this whole equation? It was the most random thing. I mean, when was the last time we saw Macy Gray? But sure enough, she and Raven go and meet Macy Gray at the studio. Karen tells us that, you know, Raven sang Amazing Grace at the funeral, I believe, for her father. They're going to meet Macy Gray in the studio, and I guess they're going to try to lay down some vocals. Now, this is my first time ever hearing that Raven even sang. But leave it to Karen to tell us that her daughter sang to the angels up above, okay, that everybody was touched. She just loves her voice. Her mother loved her voice and all of that. You know that your grandparents always love everything that you do, right? So I was just like, okay. All right, so we get Macy. And Macy Gray is Macy Gray all the time, right? I was like looking like somebody auntie sitting up. I mean, looking like Karen's auntie. It was good to see them. And when Macy coming out with something? Y'all, we ain't heard from Macy in a long time. Anyway, we gonna put Raven up in this booth, child. Now, I know I shouldn't be making fun because, you know, we talking about the grandparents and You know how special it all meant to Karen. I mean, Karen is still, she's a little verklempt, about the whole thing. Hey, get that damn Raven up in that studio booth, and I was like, Amazing Grace. I said, girl, why are you screaming? I know she was really trying to get her whole, she was really trying to get the emotions going and all, but I was just like, Macy was just like, listen, I'm going to need you to pull back a little bit. Just look, just say it with your feelings. You ain't got to do all of that, girl. And they finally get her to lay down something, child. Like I said, it's for the granny and the grandpa. Okay, so I won't make fun, but you know what? I'm going to need y'all to keep that just for yourselves. We don't put that out for public consumption. Now, Monique, she's going to the studio. She's about to start season 2 of her podcast, Not for Lazy Moms. Had no idea that she even had a podcast, but she says it's doing very, very well. Ashley comes down there to visit her. Now, first of all, you guys, let me just tell you that it's going to hurt my heart because you guys know that I like Monique, right? But Monique was all kinds of wrong in this portion of the show. I'm all for not keeping drama going and, basically giving people another chance to do right and all. I'm all for that. You guys been watching me for years, right? It's one thing to not try to keep drama going. And it's another thing for you to cape so strongly for a bitch that was at your neck last season. Now, I can get past if she just wanted to let bygones be bygones, but why are you showing Ashley text messages from Candace? And you and Candace supposedly was big sister, little sister just last week. It is so upsetting to me that she did that. Everybody is allowed their little petty parts, and everybody is allowed to defend themselves if they need to. But I honestly can't understand why Monique just, is the hatred so strong for Candace that she would still even flip on her to go to Ashley and tell her something about Candace? Is the hate so strong for Candace that all of a sudden she's there for Ashley? Like, it's just troubling. And I think that Monique, I just can't understand what exactly is her reasoning. Like I said, it's one thing to just kind of let bygones be bygones, but you going way beyond to try to be there for Ashley when Candace really hasn't done nothing to you either. Now, Candace, she's her own issue, and we got issues with Ashley too, but not Ashley, Candace too, but we talking about Monique right now. Girl, why did you do that? Sitting up there telling her how the ladies are reveling in Ashley's downfall. It's just like, do you not remember what has happened the last 3 seasons? Or we'll give her 2. She wasn't there the first season. Really? You don't understand? I was just sitting there like, wow, Monique. Wow. And see, now I'm going to have to give all you guys a chance. It's been trying to tell me all along that Monique is full of shit. I don't still think that she's full of shit, but I don't get Monique. And I just felt like that was such a bad look for her. Because I just can't understand what she has so much against Candace that she just has to keep continuing to tell Ashley. It's frustrating to me. So I was just like, yeah, maybe she has something else in mind later on in the season, but right now it makes no sense to me. Now, she's 33 weeks. And the time is getting near. She's telling Chris how she gonna get rid of all this shit when she has this baby, that this is it. Chris is still betting on maybe a oops baby. She was like, not with me. But anyway, Chris asked her, did she see Ashley on Fox 5? And she says, yeah, she did. And the story is still kind of weird. And again, this is another scene where I was just like, okay, Monique, even though she's supposed to be having in the confidence of her own husband in her own house, you might say certain things to your spouse that you wouldn't necessarily say to the girls out in the open, but we have to remember the fucking cameras are there. So now you're talking about how the story sounds weird, and are you going to be there for Ashley or are you not? Do you have her back or do you not? Do you talk about Ashley to your husband, but then run back and tell Ashley what Candace said? It's just like, I'm going to need you to pick a side. She says that Candace is still pulling her in the drama. Oh, you mean by you showing Ashley the text messages? Oh, maybe she means because Candace sent her those text messages to begin with. How about you just tell Candace, you know what? I'm out of it. I'm out of it. You don't even have to talk to me about Ashley no more. No, because Monique is still not really 100% out of it. And then we see Robyn, you guys. Robyn actually looks happy this season. Okay, she's having a girls' night. All right, a beauty. She got a couple of her friends over. Her girls come over, and you know, she's got, I guess, wine and cheese and crackers or something for the girls. Juan comes up. He's looking at her like, "What you all gussied up? You got on heels and everything?" You know, Juan ain't used to seeing her like this. Yeah, so they're gonna have a girls' night. Giselle comes. She doesn't even fit in with the girls. I'm looking at everybody look like they chilling. You know, Giselle is on full Real Housewives mode. You know, all made up, hair all done up. But whatever. Katie also comes, and you know, Katie is Katie. All right, they step to the side because the other girls are not part of this whole foolishness that is the show. And you know, they want to know, you know, Giselle wants to know, has anybody talked to Ashley? Or maybe Robyn asked that. Giselle said, yeah, she kind of talked to her, and you know, she's still giving the same story. I don't know why we keep on talking about it. Ashley is not changing her story. You guys can say that she's crazy and in denial, but Ashley is neither one of those things. Ashley is fully aware, but she has to stay supportive of her husband. So she's not going to give them the satisfaction of, you know, breaking down and saying, oh, my husband went out there grabbing asses and sucking dicks. Katie sums it all up for her. She was like, well, she's just stupid. And they were like, I don't think that she's stupid. They think that maybe they have an arrangement. Okay, well, if they have an arrangement, then when we going through all of this, you know, Sherlock Holmes and sleuthing and everything, child, just let it be what it is. But whatever. Juan is turning 40, so Robyn is going to have a 40th birthday party for him. It's a haunted Halloween kind of thing that she's throwing. Katie was just like, well, you know, what do you do for a 40th birthday? Is it a threesome? Because Katie was like, we can get it popping, you know. Robyn was just like, what? It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast, and she wants everybody to come, you know, and she's, like I said, she's arranged this whole big thing. So it's the day of the Halloween, haunted Halloween 40th birthday shebang. Ashley's on her way there with Michael. She's on a dark road. At least it's dark in front of her. Okay, behind her is a whole bunch of fucking cars. The lights are shining and everything. Why y'all trying to act like this child on an abandoned road? Anyway, they're supposed to be going to this forest, and that's the middle of where it is, you know. I'm thinking that it was Robyn's full on, you know, party, but it's not. You know, when they get there, you know, it's a whole bunch of white folks, and I was like, nah, I know Robyn don't know this many white people. But it was so funny because on the way there, they hadn't told Juan that Michael is coming, but he's coming. He's going to surprise Juan, you know, because Ashley tells us that, you know, Michael misses hanging out with Juan. Child, I ain't gonna say nothing else. I think we do know whose sausage he would like to suck, though, even though we had already assumed it from the beginning. It is Juan's ding, you guys. Juan's ding is the ding in question. So, you know, when they get there, Giselle is actually shocked to see Michael. You know, he tells her also that he's there to surprise Juan. But, you know, the whole exchange is awkward and weird. But Michael and Ashley are on the show to do a job, right? So they have to do what they gotta do. Everybody else starts showing up, Candace and Chris. It's even more awkward because they're all just standing like, now what are we supposed to do? You know, with Michael standing there. Michael takes some of the, you know, weirdness off. He says that he's gonna go see if he can find some spookies. I said, you better put an ease on the end of that. So, you know, he goes off to enjoy some of the other haunted Halloween shenanigans going on. And he leaves Candace and Giselle and Chris and them over there to themselves. Giselle's asking Candace, well, you know, why is it so weird? Like, are you guys mad at each other? And Candace says, I'm not mad at her. And I was like, Candace, now stop it. You're not mad, but you pressed. Okay, just be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep on sticking it to her as much as I can. I mean, we would be happier if you just said that instead of trying to act like you don't care. Now, Robyn gets there. Robyn tells us that she did have to tell Juan about what Michael said because somebody had mentioned it. He had overheard it. And he wanted to know what was what. So, you know, she had to tell him. But she still hasn't told him that his is the ding in question. Now, Juan is all lovey-dovey with Robyn. Okay, I think this is the happiest that I've seen them ever on the show. Okay, he's got his family, his dad there, and her parents are there, and the family, the kids, everybody is there. So yeah, we about to have a good time. Even Michael comes over and Ashley. Let's get to the fun at hand, which is the haunted house. And we see the girls and the guys, they all go through the haunted house. It looks scary. They always have it on the reverse negative, makes it look stranger on TV. Scary, boo boo, spooky, spooky, spooky. And when they finish through that, then they go to another room that Robyn has set up the party. Okay, it's a bar and it's foods and drinks and everything. Oh, Robyn, you really did it. That is a point for you. Well, I'm gonna fuck you tonight. So, everybody kind of starts to branch off on their own, their own little groups. And Giselle and Candace and all of them are over in the corner talking, gossiping. Ashley and Michael is over there. Okay, they gossiping about Michael, and Ashley just knows that she's got to go on and do this. So she walks over, and Giselle's like, how you doing? And Ashley says she's been better. Okay, and she says, yeah, I'm sure you have. You don't look good. As a matter of fact, you look a mess. I said, well, how does Michael feel with hanging with the group? Oh, he feels vindicated. But Ashley has a problem with all the backhanded shade that's going on, all up and around the group. She was like, backhanded shade? It hasn't really been backhanded shade. And she says, yes, it has, because you had already formed an opinion and basically felt like he had done it. Giselle was like, well, I just thought that's what it was. I mean, you didn't never say that he didn't do it. You just said that you couldn't talk about it. And Ashley was just like, well, Giselle, I mean, I know that you like to, bring the bones and all of that, but is this how you talk to your friends when they're down and out? And they were like, oh, wait a minute. Now, you've been handling it fine. You've been laughing. You've been smiling. You've been looking good. You ain't never thought that anything was wrong. And she was like, well, you guys never even reached out. You never called me. You never tried to see if I was okay. The only person that cared was Monique. Monique is not there. Okay, her and Chris had a fundraiser that she had to be a part of. So she throws Monique's name out there. I was just like, Giselle was just like, I had been calling and asking, trying to find out if you was okay. Or the whole answer was, you were fine and that you couldn't talk about it. So, I mean, what else do you want somebody to do? Child, like I said, they had that bitch pinned to the wall. She couldn't say nothing. And they was just sitting there watching her. She says that Michael didn't grab the man's ass. They was like, we figured that's just what he do. Like, when he grabbed Andrew's ass, she said that he didn't grab Andrew's ass. I said, girl, we had been seeing the whole thing. What you talking about? I said, oh, poor Ashley. The child losing her mind. It's too much for her. She says that it's bullshit. And Candace was like, Ashley, it's not all bullshit. Okay, everything can't be bullshit. So they ain't letting up on her. You know what? Ashley is just going to have to go. She walks over to Michael. She tells him that she's ready to go. She's got a headache. This is all she can stand on the strong Ashley front. Okay. And then we get a little Bravo gives us all what we needed. Honey, they showed us the unreleased footage of when supposedly Michael did grab the ass of the cameraman. So we couldn't see anything, but we did see Ashley and Monique off to the side talking. Over on the other side, we see Michael. He looks like he's about to go over there and join Ashley, and he's walking through a room, and we see like the side of him get pretty close to the cameraman, but we don't see any hands or anything like that. But we do hear the cameraman say, hey, don't do that. Okay, don't do that. And Michael says, okay, no problem. Oh, like almost like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought we was just playing. It was all shits and giggles until that cameraman was about to whoop that ass, right? So he goes over to Ashley, and she's just like, hey, babe, how are you? And he says, fine. All right. And then later on, we see a clip where he's talking to somebody and he's saying, I didn't grab your ass. Let me go get you a beer. So I guess they tried to make us feel like that was him saying he didn't grab the ass of the cameraman. But, of course, after the show and on Instagram and on, Twitter and all this, Monique said that last part. Okay, I got confused and thought she was saying that the whole thing was her cousin. But the last part when he says, I didn't grab your ass, let me go get a beer, that was actually Monique's cousin. Okay, but the part before that is the part that we are all concerned about, when the cameraman was clearly upset and said, don't do that. And Michael, when he giggled and then realized that the cameraman was serious, that he stopped. So I don't know if somebody got paid off or what, or if there was not enough evidence to just go by the verbal, recording of what happened. But it's very damning evidence to me. And it did sound like Michael had done something to that man that he did not want him to do. And we had already heard that the cameraman was so pissed that he did that he wanted to kill Michael. All right, so all that makes sense at least in the narrative that they've spun, to us thus far. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Michael, he got away with that one. I hope that cameraman got a pretty penny. All right, rock stars, that is it. Interesting episode. All right, rock stars, that's it. I just thought that it was really funny that Ashley kept on saying that she was with Michael when it happened, when really she wasn't. She wasn't close enough to really see, because it looked like it happened in the room, leading out into the deck area where she was, or the patio area where she was. And I guess Michael said that he bumped into the cameraman because that covers him, the verbal part of what we knew we were going to hear. But, yeah, no. Michael, I hope this is a lesson to you. Whatever it is that you like to do on the side, or whatever you and Ashley have agreed upon, you best make sure that the person that you are involving is with it 100% too. Or else you're going to find yourself in trouble like this again, my boy. But anyway, let me get off of here. I got to do claws. What did you guys think about the episode, child? I was so happy they was giving it to Ashley. Oh, it just did my heart so proud. Right now, we got to set aside all of the shit that we don't like about Giselle, and maybe a little bit of Robyn and Candace and all of them, because Ashley deserves every fucking bit of all of the smoke and the grief that they give her. Okay, but anyway, let me get off of here, you guys. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rocks. The channel's for It's Rocks, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.